Hey clan, this is non-canon Ethan here. Today I just thought I'd give you guys a recap of everything you need to know before this upcoming final season of Misfits. So thought I'd just give you some backstory to start. So at the very beginning, it all starts with Timness. So the first ever Timothy clause to ever be known was Mr. Clown, which we know in the present story as, the crazy alchemist guy. But how it began is, he was Timothy Claus and everything was great. And all of a sudden, Jimothy, this guy, this silly guy, he and his partner Bim steal this role as Timothy Claus and banish him, basically without his will. So Mr. Clown, he goes insane. This is when he becomes a clown because that's the only job he can do at this time, because he's got nothing to do. So he becomes an alchemist, he goes insane, and he plots this vengeance against his enemy, Timothy. So the Misfits step in and stop Mr. Clown during this whole vengeance plot. And they also expose Timothy in the process, essentially banishing them both. So that was 2023. Now, moving on to 2024. Timothy goes into hiding, gathering a team of villains to take back the workshop. Whereas Mr. Clown, he's sent to prison because Timothy escapes, essentially, but he is severely burnt. He loses a bunch of weight and looks pretty terrifying, all in all. And he gets a crew together. This consists of Bim, his partner, Humpty Dumpty, Rat Tim, and Brody, who he was a part of the Misfits in the past, but he was made fun of a lot and kicked out, and because they didn't like him because he was smelly or something. So what are you gonna do? So Bim, however, he's got a side quest, and I say he with italics there because he basically pretends to be a woman to just get with Timothy in the first place. He's never been with her. With Timothy, sorry. He has never been on Timothy's side. So he basically finds the Fackett's cookie, which, if you guys know, it's a very powerful relic that comes from an ancient being in the past, the Meatball Man. It's essentially his heart that gives him all the power. So he goes on the side quest and retrieves it and actually starts murdering the crew one by one, and eventually he kills Timothy. And the Misfits do put an end to his reign, and they defeat Bim. Not the nicest way either. The old cow just kind of rips him in half. It's pretty crazy stuff. But that's all the backstory. So now this leaves us, in the present, where Mr. Clown actually escapes prison. And if you guys remember the trailer, that was him in that Santa outfit making that horn pickle syrup. So he makes the newest gen, and it is the last gen actually that's ever made. And he does this by retrieving the Fackett's cookie crumbs from the corpse to make it even stronger. So basically, he comes to this ultimatum where the Misfits are, the new Timothy Claus. The old cow is Timothy Claus now because there's no one to fill that role. And Mr. Clown really wants it back, so he actually brings Timothy back to life with this serum in order to take back the workshop to get his help. So the thing that stands out, the variation of the hornpickle serum, the thing that makes it stand out is it works a lot differently than the past serums. It essentially means that Timothy will keep growing, gradually getting stronger and stronger, and he has to keep consuming more to stay alive. So during this process, he's, getting spikes on his back, getting bigger, stronger, and this is kind of like an ego boost for him. He's like, all right, well, I could literally just rip this guy in half. So he's playing along with Mr. Clown's narrative, but he's got something else planned. So while all of this is happening, this major conflict is brewing against the Tims and the Jims, a rivalry that has been going on for millennia. Begins with an attack from the Jims using propaganda and a live commercial to accuse Tims of murder. Kidnappings occur, killings even, gradually crescendoing into a full-out war. The Misfits and the Stevens family are suddenly dragged into this by the Jims because they steal, the pickle in the corner. Misfits go looking for it. And Karen, which is Tim's mistress, she gets kidnapped, which makes Tim go on this whole frenzy, and Ethan and Harold actually sneak along with him, which he did not know of initially. So it brings everyone to the same place at the same time, which is what the gyms want. And this was kind of with the help of Rat Tim, because he makes a deal with the gyms to lure Tim there, because he wants to mate him, because he's a freak or whatever. I don't know. It's a sick idea, but Tim's a very high target on their list, so the gyms are like, all right, bring him here. And so they're all ambushed at the gym HQ, threatened to hand over the workshop, or their pick will be destroyed. So the Stevens family actually escapes. Everyone else does not, though. The Stevens family escapes, and they actually stumble into the Supernaturals, the first ever team of heroes that saved the Timverse when Crowker sought out to destroy it many years ago. So this was like Kyle, Doug, Ken, those guys, like Kyle's Come, that's where that comes from, the previous chapter. And Kyle, of course, sacrificed his life to kill Crowker, which was his father. Which, to be even crazier, Dector was the grandfather, so Kyle's the grandson. It's this whole family dynamic. But to continue that, the Supernaturals take Tim and the Stevens family to the workshop to help turn the tide of the battle. Meanwhile, Jim, the leader of the sector, which I'll get into later when we talk about the finale and stuff. But Jim is the leader of this sector, so kind of this solar system. So he takes everyone to the workshop, and they're actually all surprised by Timothy. He builds up the entire workshop, and he has this cool like aura farming moment. Everyone thought he was dead, and he's back. So creates this big explosion, leaving Mr. Clown and the elves to burn alive inside. In the midst of all the adrenaline, the Tims declare war across the galaxy. So Mayor Timbus, basically the main leaders of this sector, they declare war across the galaxy. Because for the Tims, they have more of a dictatorship thing going on, or at least kind of like how we have a president. They have like one leader and then like Congress and stuff, whereas the gyms have many, many leaders that control different sectors, and they have a council. So as the gyms seem to be taking control, this whole war happens. The gyms, there's too many of them. They've been ready for this apparently. Kind of throws the Tims off because they see them as less than. But they're winning, and the only thing that they can really do is run. And all of a sudden, this massive ship rolls in and just takes everyone. Dr. Kaswada, who's the leader of this aircraft, tells everyone to get inside and to evacuate. They tell him about the galactic war. Everyone freaks out. At this point, everyone is just in utter shock. They don't know what to think. Because Tim has been revealed to the world as, because he was a serial killer before this whole memory swap happened where he could speak again, which I'll go over later. But there's an explanation for that, how he became Tim, the Tim Possible. Basically, this galactic war happens. They all have to travel to this hidden world, K2HB, if they have any chance of winning against the war. So they're going to bring every Tim they know to this planet that's hidden from the Gym Empire. So as they soar off into space, the Misfits are devastated. Everyone's unprepared for this terrible future that lies ahead. So finally, in the epilogue, we see Timothy undergo this massive transformation as this mysterious rotund figure. Could be, I don't know who it could be. I don't know, do you know? I don't know. So he basically forces him to keep feeding and injecting himself with hornpickle juice because he's basically dying without it. So he becomes this beast of ancient energy, creating these shockwaves across the world that shakes the planet. Everyone doesn't know what to do. Like, starships are destroyed in this big quasar, and he just flies away into space, seeking out vengeance. And that's basically where we are now. So in the first chapter of the series, I will say, we'll get to see the war from a powerless perspective, which means Aiden and Jacob, which are technically my friends, Ethan's friends, who are part of the Fortnite clan. They are on Earth, whereas I'm in space with everyone else. So you get to see their perspectives as they attempt to navigate a now perilous planet. Now, after this, I'm gonna send y'all to a Garbage Gamer video, which will also kind of be a little recap because you need to know what happens before then. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. This is the finale, and my story will truly end. So, yeah, hope you enjoy.